All right, guys, welcome to All the Rage Sports Talk. Today we have a special episode coming to you. Today we are having the first ever All the Rage Sports Podcast Fantasy Football League.
Brought to you by National Accordion Month.
That was a few months ago.
That was long ago.
It's in All the Rage Sports, it is always Accordion Awareness Month.
This is the first installment of the All the Rage Sports Podcast Fantasy Football League. We need to come up with a better title, obviously.
Okay. There's like a million fucking monthly observations. Family Fun Month, which if we all liked each other. Romance Awareness Month. I'm not quite sure.
Fuck that.
National Catfish.
I think I like that one.
Actually, no. I'm up with National Romance Month because when we bring that up, you can play some porn music in the background.
National Eye Exam Month. National Golf Month. National Peach Month. And National Water Quality Month. And I do have to say, it does it by the day. So August 14th. Actually, today is VJ Day.
VJ Day.
Victory over Japan Day. And National Creamsicle Day. Those two things go hand in hand.
Obviously.
We can't do VJ Day because we don't want to upset our Japanese community of fans.
Yeah, because we
are veterans. The very first listing for the first of the month was National Raspberry Cream Pie Day.
Oh, we got to go with that.
Obviously.
Jamaican Patty Day. And I'm not sure what this means, National Minority Donor Awareness Day.
Is it when you donate a minority?
I think that's called slavery. I thought they outlawed that.
If I donated you... Never mind, I'm not going to say it.
Racial overtones.
So we could donate Jace.
He is
because he's a ginger.
Yeah, we could donate you because you're a big fat fuck.
That's not a minority. We're America. Everybody is big.
Well, if we donate you to another country.
Let me just take a moment. We're going to break down the league rules. So in this league, we tried to go as above and beyond as we possibly could. So we made every single position available. We have one quarterback, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 1 flex, 2 defensive linemen, 2 linebackers, 2 cornerbacks, 1 safety, 1 defensive utility player, a special teams defense, a kicker, and a punter, and you have 12 spots on your bench, making your roster a total of 30 players.
Jesus Christ, this is going to take. I'll be 21 by the time we're done with it.
And then also, I went through and tried to make everything that you could score points for on. So basically, these games are going to be like 300 to 400 at the final. So it's going to make it very interesting. I've never drafted defensive players before. Have any of you ever done that?
No.
Yes.
You have?
Yep.
Is it basically just as much of a crapshoot as I think it is?
Actually, I'm pretty sure that one got auto-picked for me. Yeah, I think it was just a league where it was auto-picked. So
what we're doing for you, the public, ladies and gentlemen, is we're going to do a thing that you want advice on that we have no fucking clue how to do.
Exactly.
So you're pretty much just as well off as us.
And we'll be giving you weekly updates, who's winning, who won. I will be creating an entire list of trophies, and we'll announce who won those awards every week when we're doing the podcast. So if you feel like following us and following along with our fantasy league, please do. If you don't, then you're probably the majority of people that listen to us. All right, so Jace, you are the first pick. What is your team name?
My team name this year is based on a recent event that happened in the NFL that's become quite notorious. My fantasy name is Geno911.
and rightfully so.
I almost went with Kareem Abdullah-Jabbar, but I didn't do that.
Thank God, because I am the second pick in this draft set right now, and my team is Abdullah Oblongata.
Oblonata. Jesse is so bad at grammar, he can't pronounce his own team name.
Abdullah Oblongata.
Ankoran Boldrin.
I actually have the third pick in the draft, and my team name is Pryor Raider Failures, as in Terrell Pryor.
You're a piece of shit.
And Homer, you are the fourth.
That's Amari.
That's Amari. Alright, so you guys ready to kick this shiznit off?
Nope, fuck off.
Yeah, that's
Alright, so Jace will have the first pick once I hit resume here. Are you ready, Jace?
I am ready to go.
Alright, welcome to All the Rage Sports Draft. Alright, Jace is on the clock.
And with my first pick, how do I draft on here? Okay, I will be drafting Antonio Brown.
Oh,
You son of a bitch!
Well, let me explain. I was going to take Le'Veon, but the whole being suspended for the first couple games made me want to steer away from him. And with
And you wanted to ruin my life!
that too, with Marcus Wheaton and Martavius Bryant on the outside, that is going to be a dangerous offense this year.
It is easily going to be a sick offense.
It's going to be, I'm not going to say number one yet, but I will say it will be at least in the top 5. And I think they are going to come out and they are going to blow some people out of the water. Big Ben is going to put up monster numbers. Le'Veon is going to put up monster numbers. But the centerpiece and the star of that entire offense will be Antonio Brown.
And the defense will. All right, so I am going to go with my first pick at picking Le'Veon Bell. I'm not scared of him being suspended for 2 games. Main reason being, we only have 4 of us. I will have enough running backs to take care of anything. So Le'Veon Bell is going to be the top scoring running back this year on a pretty decent level, I would say. I don't think DeMarco Murray's the only one who beat him last year, and he's on the Eagles, and I don't think he's going to get to the point he was because he was behind in Dallas. All right, Kevin, get your pick.
And with my first pick, I'm going to choose a wide receiver, and that wide receiver is going to be Amari Cooper.
He just wanted to fuck all of you.
And there's really no reason behind that, just the fact that I took Antonio Brown and Kevin's butthurt little girl.
It's pretty much it.
You're goddamn right.
Information that can be used to great value to you people.
All right, Homer, your pick.
I'm going to take Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers, a quarterback in the first. That's an interesting one. And now you got a second pick.
Yep.
It is a snake-style draft, so Homer and Jace will have 2 picks in a row with...
No, I'm at the end.
Well, you'll have 2 picks in a row, but you'll have 7 picks. You guys will have 7 picks between. Who'd you get?
DeMarco Murray.
DeMarco Fraggin Murray.
Homer, this is the part where you explain why you draft these guys.
Well, I took Aaron Rodgers because he's going to be a damn good quarterback again this year.
He was number 1 last year.
He tends to do that.
I think he's kind of overrated.
Your mom's overrated.
And DeMarco Murray had a damn good last year, and he's behind an equally great offensive line in Philadelphia. I think he's going to still do good.
Even though they lost Evan Mathis?
Yep.
He's sharing touches with Ryan Matthews, too.
Ooh.
Which actually might not be a bad thing. That takes the workload off DeMarco. He is injury prone, so.
All right.
Keep him fresh.
Kevin.
All right, and my pick is a slap in the face to another junk in the room as soon as I can find this person.
Are you going to draft Janikowski?
No. I am drafting with my second pick, Peyton Manning. Fuck you, Jeff Jones.
Kevin says he drafted Peyton. Fuck you.
All right, so with my third pick, I'm going to grab AP. Adrian Peterson. All right, Jace, you are on the clock. I picked Adrian Peterson with my second pick. I have the 2 best running backs in the league, so you can also get.
Yeah, pretty good. With my draft pick, I'm going to take Rob Gronkowski. Because with Jimmy Graham being basically a glorified run blocker in Seattle this year, there's literally Gronkowski is the elite tight end in this class, and then it's just everybody else.
You went tight end this early?
It's Gronk. There are no other really tight ends that are going to put up his numbers.
But there are a ton of other players that are going to put up better numbers.
Your second pick there, Jace.
Third pick.
I'm going to choose Marshawn Lynch.
Marshawn Lynch, very nice pick.
Because bringing in even with Jimmy Graham's admission that he was going to be blocking 70% of the time this year, Pete Carroll has been to 2 Super Bowls, won one, and come within a play of winning another one, and their philosophy has always been run first, pass second.
Except for the last Super Bowl they played in.
Well, Super Bowl jokes aside, but that team's focus is on running, and Marshawn Lynch is going to put up solid numbers just like he has the past couple of years. He'll do just fine.
All right, well, for my third pick, I'm going to draft my favorite player in the entire world, Mr. Calvin Johnson. Calvin Johnson had a bad year last year, 3 games. He was injured. He still put up top 10 wide receiver numbers being out 3 games. I think that there's nothing going to stop him from being top 2, top 3. Obviously, Antonio Brown's going to lead the league. What?
Suck it, Kevin.
Kiss my ass.
All right. Kevin is up.
Okay, despite what Jesse thinks he's got on his team as far as running backs, I'm going to pick the best running back in the league right now.
I also disagree with
Jamal Charles.
Yeah, I really debated on picking Jamal instead of Calvin, but Homer better get on his friggin' thing. Ooh, Mike Evans.
Yep.
Nice pick.
I feel like that's a jump for this early in the round. I think that in this round, on a 8-person, 10-person, yeah, it would be a good pick.
You got to get who you want to get.
Yeah, it's
Can't
true.
wait.
At this point, it's literally just who you want, not...
I see Mike Evans surprising a lot of people. I think he's within a shout of being top 5 this year.
I could see him being in the top 10. I don't see him in the top 5.
Who the hell else is Jameis going to throw to?
He's got Vincent Jackson and Austin Seferi Jeffers or whatever
What
the hell.
the fuck?
Austin
Safarian
Jenkins.
Jenkins.
Jenkins. Listen, I evidently have already drank myself
looked
into
like
stupidity.
poop last year. Oh yeah, another disclaimer. Me and Jesse are drinking beer like it's water. So we're going to be like just picking.
At the end of it, I'm going to be like, I want Sean Sweezem.
I'm going to be drafting Tim Tebow before this is all over.
All right.
No, you aren't, because I am.
He always drafts Tim Tebow.
Kevin wants Jesus on his side.
I'm going to have Peyton Manning, Johnny Manziel, and Tim Tebow.
All right. Hey, Homer, he picks Jimmy Graham. Another tight end off the board already. Well, basically the only 2 tight ends that matter.
All right. Shut up and let Homer talk about his pick.
Well, I think that he's not going to be a run block tight end.
He said himself that he's going to be blocking 70% of the time.
If you
in
have
Seattle.
Jimmy Graham, you throw the ball to Jimmy Graham.
Exactly.
The place he's going to get targeted a lot was the red zone because that's where he's gotten targeted.
That's where he's going to get. He's going to be.
And as we know, Seattle doesn't like to run the ball in the red zone, so they'll be able to throw it to him.
Well, the thing is, when Russell Wilson starts scrambling around, who's he going to look for now? Is he going to look for 5'10" Curse and 5'11" Baldwin? No, he's going to look for the 6'7" monster standing.
Well, Chris Matthews is going to be there.
Yeah, Matthews
one
will
this
be
year.
That's true. Matthews will be there this year.
Interesting fact I heard today. I was listening to a much better podcast than ours. Matthew Berry's. Russell Wilson had the most attempts outside of the pocket for any quarterback last year.
LaShawn McCoy.
I have the 2 best running backs in the league right now.
I disagree. I have Le'Veon Bell.
You don't have Marshawn, so it doesn't matter.
Well, I just picked up probably number 2 or 3 wide receiver in Odell Beckham Jr.
Except for the part where he has the lesser of the Mannings throwing to him, who hasn't done very well the last 2 seasons.
Hey, that's all
Who
right.
has more postseason success than his holy older brother. I can't believe he's still on the board, but I'm going to draft Eddie Lacy.
Yeah, I actually debated on doing that myself.
Yeah, and I have the 2 best running backs in the league now, so you can all suck it. Marshawn and Eddie
I understand how you can not tell me that Le'Veon and Adrian Peterson are the 2
Oh,
best.
they're both good. Adrian beat her son, or whatever he's called. That was my other fantasy name I almost threw out there. But he's going to be good, but he's got to work the rust off a little bit, and I think they're going to want to throw the ball a little bit more now that they have somebody who's going to throw it.
How bad did he have to work off the rust when he came back from the ACL?
Good point. Okay, and I'm a little bit torn on my neck. Oh, I'm not torn. It's not even a contest.
Damn it, that's what I was going to go with.
Des Bryant. Just re-up. They gave him money, so he won't throw it. Well, he shouldn't. He should be limited to like 3 temper tantrums on the sideline this year. I think Dallas is going to come out and beat a lot of people. And quite contrary to what Jesse thinks, and me and him have had this argument quite a bit over the past few years. Des Bryant is the best wide receiver in the NFL besides Antonio Brown.
My pick is going to be Demaryius Thomas. Demaryius Thomas was one of the top 5 fantasy leading last year. Peyton Manning's still throwing to him. You don't have Julius Thomas anymore. He's going to get more targets. I just see Demaryius Thomas just being an all-around superstar for the rest of his career.
With my next pick, I'm going to pick up probably one of the guys with the biggest upside this season, Alshon Jeffrey. No more Brandon Marshall. Alshon Jeffrey's going to be racking up yards and touchdowns like a boss. C.J. Anderson.
Jace, wow. Homer goes C.J.
All right, Homer, hurry up and go over your 2 picks.
C.J. Anderson, I think that he's going to be pretty damn good in Kubiak's system. Kubiak made Forsett look like an all-star, and he's been nothing but a backup his whole career. And I think with the addition of Andre Johnson, T.Y. Hilton's going to be open a lot more.
Fantastic.
Agreed.
I like it. Kevin.
All right. Now I'm out of my point-making picks, so I'm going to pick the guy who's actually probably going to start most of the season at quarterback for me, and that would be Big Ben Roethlisberger.
You son of a bitch.
With Martavis Bryant and Antonio Brown at wide receiver, I mean, you can't go wrong picking him. That's touchdown city right there. And then Le'Veon Bell catching it out of the backfield. Big numbers.
Yep. Can't disagree with you there. With my pick, I am going to select Matt Forte. This will round out my running backs and my wide receivers, 3 of each. Matt Forte is going to be a great flex player just because he does a lot out of the backfield catching the ball.
Best receiving back in the NFL.
I would disagree with that in the sense that Le'Veon Bell probably is at this point. He had over 800 yards receiving last year. You can't argue with me on that.
Okay, and with my first quarterback I'm going to draft, I'm going to get Andrew Luck. Because T.Y. Hilton, you've got Frank Gore in the backfield, Andre Johnson. You got to remember they still have Dante Moncrief, and they drafted Philip Dorsett. That offense, I think, is probably going to be the one I'm going to pick to be number 1 this year. They are going to absolutely destroy some people. All right, and for my flex player, I am going to go with Randall Cobb.
Ooh, nice choice.
All over the field player, very sneaky, I find him very underrated every year because of Jordy, but he still puts up number 1 wide receiver numbers as far as fantasy goes every year. I think he's going to perform well this year.
All right.
Isn't he their punt returner? Randall Cobb.
So.
I think so. I think he does do their punt returns.
That doesn't count for fantasy points.
Yes, it does, because I made sure everything that possibly could be.
Well, that's why he's my flex player.
I'm going to finally select my quarterback, and it seems like I always get him every single year. I'm selecting Russell Wilson. And the biggest thing with Russell Wilson is he doesn't throw for a lot of yards. He doesn't throw for a ton of touchdowns. But he gets the rushing yards, much like Cam Newton does. And when you're playing in one of these leagues where you get a point every 5 yards run, Russell Wilson had a few 100-yard games last year. So it's like he makes up for his passing deficiency in his rushing ability. He was actually the, I think, second most scored quarterback in our league last year because of our way we did our point system. Kevin,
all right.
Your choice.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and make my selection, and that would be I'm going to go tight end and lock that down. I'm going to go ahead and pick up Jason Witten.
Nice
because
choice.
He's Jason Witten.
Yeah, you really can't go wrong with Jason Witten.
Solid every year. Solid. Never really has a down year, it seems.
He's just overall the most dependable person. I mean, now Des Bryant, but when Romo's in trouble, who's he look to?
Tony Romo. I mean, I hate the Dallas Cowboys, but Tony Romo puts up big numbers in the regular season.
All right, Homer, your pick.
Yeah, I'm looking.
DeAndre Hopkins, good pick, Homer. I think that he's going to really step up this year.
Oh yeah,
stepped up last year.
Okay, doing it.
Oh, Seahawks defense, nice pick.
Well done.
All right, Kevin.
All right, and I'm going to lock down my final tight end spot here. I'm picking up Jared Cook from the St. Louis Rams.
Solid pick.
He's not even rated anywhere near the top. I could probably have waited because nobody else is going to pick him, but I do think so.
All right, well, I'm going to break it, and I'm going to pick the first defensive player. I'm going Luke Kuechly, linebacker for the Panthers. Led everything last year. He pretty much is the most unstoppable force. At
Except
linebacker
for
position.
touchdowns thrown to a defensive lineman. I will draft J.J. Watt.
Damn it!
Because who wouldn't want J.J. Watt on their team? I should be able to line him up at tight end, but they won't let me. This is the part where I'm really confused because I don't know whether to stack up on defense or if I should keep drafting more offensive players.
The way I'm looking at it from the defensive standpoint, the top scoring defensive players scored 170 points. Tight ends scored 200 and some points. I'm going to go pretty hard on defense here just because I want to make sure it's all said and done and good to go.
Just because I can, I am going to draft Richard Sherman.
Damn it, that was what I was going to do.
Snooze, you lose, bitch.
You don't even have to go over why you choose him. Richard Sherman would smack you for not taking him number 1 overall.
Yeah, why would you come at him with a sorry draft pick instead of taking him?
I'm going to pick one of my favorites, Patrick Peterson.
You going to give any insight on that one?
He's Patrick Peterson. Do I need to?
Okay, not really. My first defensive selection is going to be Navarro Bowman. No Patrick Willis anymore in San Francisco. It's all on Navarro Bowman now. He's been putting up pretty good numbers. Even with Patrick Willis, now he gets to take over a little bit more of those numbers.
I took Khalil Mack. In my eyes, he was the best rookie on defense last year. He is a run-stopping machine. And I think that Robert Quinn is the second best defensive line player in the NFL.
Nice.
All right. And with my second defensive pick, I am going to pick at cornerback, Prince Amukamara.
Well, I got to go with my big boy, Jace's favorite target in Madden, Greg Olsen.
Well done.
That's my tight end. Greg Olsen, 1,000 yards last year, 6 touchdowns, was one of the top scoring tight ends in the league, and he just every year performs well. I think that every year the Bears are a little more upset that they let him go.
I'm going offense on both these picks.
A.J. Green and Jordy Nelson, 2 fantastic picks.
My name is Jason. I have 17 wide receivers on my team.
Yeah, right?
I have the 17 best wide receivers in the league, so.
All right, I am going to go with the big man at DN, Mario Williams. I just need a great offensive line or defensive lineman that's going to be getting sacks. Mario Williams causes forced fumbles. He causes sacks. He's going to be scoring points. All right, who's next?
That would be me, and I'm going to get my second starting cornerback who says, fuck Richard Sherman, and that's Joe Hayden. Everybody but Antonio Brown.
Damn it. Nice pick, because that's totally who I was going to go with.
Which one?
Tayshaun Gibson, really?
He led the league in interceptions last year.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the last 2 years, actually.
That was a fluke.
How about Levante David? Why did you want him?
Well, that's not bad.
Very, very underrated linebacker.
Okay, great insight.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Just
He's going to be good.
Just re-signed,
Yep.
updated his contract, I do believe.
Yep.
He's going to be good.
All right. I'm going to pick I think the guy who will probably, my pick to lead the league in the defensive end position for sacks, Chandler Jones.
All right, I'm going to pick up one of my favorite D linemen, one that I wish my team or wish Steelers would have drafted, but I know that he doesn't fit their scheme. One of my favorites, Aaron Donald, D tackle. He is just an absolute chaos maker up front.
Wilkerson. Okay, and we're going to go to Jeff Junk on his draft insight with this pick. All right, Father. Why did you want to pick Will Wilkerson?
Because he's better than White.
There you have it. And for the first safety that we've drafted, I believe, I am going to take Charles Woodson.
Of course you will.
Well, why wouldn't you?
I'm
Sam Chancellor is going to hold out, so absolutely you should take the guy who's been performing at a high level for like 10,000 years.
Pro Bowl vote as a rookie. The guy I actually kind of thought the Steelers should take, but this year I'm not 100% convinced. C.J. Mosley for the Baltimore Ravens.
Excellent pick.
He's going to become their Ray Lewis. He's going to lead that team 100%.
All right. Well, I'm going to pick I'm going to pick the top linebacker on the Pittsburgh Steelers and one of the best in the league, and that's Lawrence Timmons. And his play speaks for itself.
Wow. Good pickup.
Well done. I like that pick.
And I was waiting for someone to do it.
Oh.
If you didn't.
Yeah.
How do you do, Mr. Sue?
My name is Sue. How do you do? Now you're going to die because I'll probably step on your head.
So,
Also,
Homer goes with Harrison Smith from the Vikings and Ndamukong Suh.
let's go to Homer for his groundbreaking insight on these picks.
They're good players.
All right, with my next pick, I'm going to pick my second defensive lineman, and this is because of my dad's football insight last night, and I'm picking up Danny Shelton.
Danny Shelton's going to be a disruptive force.
According to my dad's expert analysis of the game last night, he was all over the field.
All right, so with my first safety pick, I'm going to pick the best safety in the league in Earl Thomas.
Okay, probably the best middle linebacker behind Luke Kuechly. I'm going to go with Bobby Wagner.
I wouldn't know about best, but I would definitely say he's up there.
Yeah, he's one of the best.
He's top 5, easy.
You wouldn't put him in behind?
I would probably put him in the bottom of the top 5, honestly.
Well, you're probably not that bright.
I think Navarro Bowman, the guy I think Navarro Bowman's second best.
I would have to kind of say
When his ACL's in one piece.
Patrick Willis retired the best middle linebacker.
And I am going to pick somebody, this is kind of a stretch, I think, but somebody who is going to evade the sophomore slump, I believe, is Kyle Fuller.
I can dig that. All right. Well, I'm going to pick my 2 favorite safeties, and pretty much every time I play Madden, these 2 guys are my safeties.
Fuck you.
And I'm going to pick up Eric Berry.
Okay, well, with my next pick, you guys are going to get a laugh out of this. I'm picking Clinton Dix.
Clinton Dix. We are actually, after this pick, is the halfway point.
We're halfway there.
Oh, Kevin
Jace's team doesn't have a prayer.
I'm going to steamroll you, boy.
Marcus Peters.
Speaking of...
You said Peters.
It's a dick reference.
Phallic reference.
And DeAndre Levy.
Damn it, that was going to be my next pick. Good pick.
Homer?
Well, I chose Peters because I think he's the best cornerback this draft. I think he's going to do pretty damn good in Andy Reid's defense. And I just picked Levy because why not?
Okay.
Always valuable.
Levy usually leads their team in tackles. I think he has the last 2 or 3 years. So
Yeah.
And for my next pick, Honey Badger don't care none.
What the fuck was that?
very
I
nice
picked
pick.
Tyrann Mathieu, because he is a boss.
With my first pick, I'm going to go with a guy that scored well last year, mainly because their defense doesn't have a lot of players. But I'm going to go with Jason McCourty. He scored 114 points last year, 3 interceptions and a touchdown return, and 85 tackles. So he's one of those corners that does come up and attacks.
I am going to draft Paul Warlow, middle linebacker from
That's who
Atlanta. I was going to take Justin Houston, but for some reason sacks are a little bit lower on the point scheme of things, apparently. So I'm going to stay away from that because he's pretty much just a pass rusher. And then I'm going to be brave. Very, very brave. I'm going to pick a defense that I think is going to come out and surprise people, and that is going to be the Detroit Lions.
Ooh, interesting.
Okay. Minus Sue?
Hey, they got Nada now.
Haloti Nada, who is ancient, but we're not doing a dynasty league, so I don't have to worry about it past this year.
All right, so I'm going to stick with the tradition. I'm going to go with the defense. I have a hard time going against the Eagles. They were the top scoring one last year. But I'm going to pick the Bills because I think that defense is absolutely nuts.
I'm going to kick you in the balls.
Ha-ha, America.
Since Jesse stole my pick, I'm going to pick the coach for the Bills, former defense. I'm going to pick the Jets defense.
That's the other one I was looking at. Jets defense is going to be sick. Broncos defense, Senor Homer goes with.
Homer picked him, too. You should shun him.
They're just a backup.
Homer, do you care to give us any insight as to why you picked that defense?
Yeah, they're a decent backup.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
And you picked Julio Jones?
Yep.
You cocksucker.
Now, just to let you guys know, we are doing a normal fantasy draft. This is just our, let's just fucking have fun with this one. No money is going to be riding on it, but a lot of bragging rights via the podcast will be issued. Kevin, your pick?
I am looking. Lick my nuts. I'm going to pick somebody. You're all going to go like, really? Really? I am picking the fingerless weather.
Really?
Jason Pierre
Really?
Paul.
I can't say really to that. That's a pretty decent pick, actually.
The only problem is if they win 3 Super Bowls, where's he going to put the other 2 rings?
Well, I'm going to go with the best kicker over the last 3 years. Was pretty much outscored every kicker every year. I read a stat today that he outscored 85 or 90% of tight ends, and that's Steven Gostkowski.
Horrible pick.
How's that a horrible pick?
The balls are going to have so little air in them that they're not going to fly with the shit.
All right, I don't know why, but it says our punters' points are 0, and I definitely set it up so punters are going to get points this year.
For my defensive flex player, this is going to be a tough one. No, it's not. It's not even going to be remotely close.
All right, Jace, who is y'all pick?
I am on the actually no. My defensive flex player is going to be Jamie Collins.
Oh, that's actually a pretty good pick.
You get a linebacker who can stop the run, get tackles for loss, also rushes the quarterback and gets sacks, but at the same time can also drop back into short coverage and is quite a good pass defender as well.
Right. I like it.
Sleeper pick of the year, Latavius Murray.
Oh. Hey, Jace, guess
What?
who I had up to draft next?
Latavius Murray.
Yep.
That offensive line, the right guard spot is a little bit in question, but as far as the rest of the line, they are going to be solid this year. And I see Murray having up over 1,200 yards and maybe even into double-digit touchdowns. He is going to be the fantasy sleeper of the year, even though he's not really a sleeper, but late round pick.
I guess I agree with that. Suck this one long and hard. Marquette King.
You
First
motherfucker!
Good times.
You are literally the worst person I've
I
ever met.
know. I'm so great. He actually is the second top scoring punter as of last year. The only one that scored above him was Heckler for St. Louis. All right, Kevin is on the clock.
I don't know why Jesse's already picking kickers and punters.
I like to get my full starting lineup, and then I worry about my bench.
Well, that's retarded.
Well, you don't.
Yes, it is. Because then you miss out on guys that are sitting there getting ready to be picked, like Andre Johnson, who's going to have a boss year in Indy. He actually has a quarterback that can throw him the football.
He's going to have a better year than he did in the past, but I don't think he's going to be a monster.
Oh, yeah, that's right, because the only monster available in the NFL is fucking Calvin.
Yeah. All right, who's next? That is Homer with Matt Rye. All right.
And now we hear the crickets.
This is your theme music for your pick, Homer.
Hashtag small town.
Homer, it's your pick. You have 20
no,
seconds.
I'm looking.
All right.
Frank Gore, good pick. I was thinking about him earlier.
I believe there's kids playing hide and seek out here right now.
Yeah, the neighbor kids probably.
He said he saw his feet, so don't worry, guys.
This will help keep the fleas off our animals.
All right, we're not in that rural of a part of town. This isn't Jackson Center where the men are horny and the sheep are scared.
It's my pick, and I'm going to pick probably one of the guys who should be a lot higher up on this list right now, and that is Emmanuel Sanders.
Only because you dick ride Peyton Manning is
He
why you
was
picked
the
him.
top
Or
wide
because he
receiver
was one
last
of the,
year.
yeah, or because he was one of the best wide receivers last year. That could be an issue too.
He had
I don't know.
1,300 some yards.
Or because you dick ride
Well, he does, but that's besides the point.
Peyton Manning.
Or because he's fucking awesome. Suck my nuts.
Present them.
All right, I'm going to get my backup tight end, somebody who I think is going to come through late in this season and really show that he could be one of the top tight ends. And Travis Kelce. I think that
Travis Kelce.
Kelsey, whatever.
God, you suck.
I was waiting for somebody to get on that.
Well, he spells his shit retarded.
That's not necessarily his fault.
Touche.
And that's a terrible pick.
No, it's not. His system is going to really help him out.
No, it's not. I had him last year. He sucks.
Oh, it's my pick again.
You got 2 picks in a row there.
I am at
This is pick number 80. We have 40 to go.
Oh, fuck me. Woo! I'm going to go with... No, I'm not. I should. Another underrated running back that I think is going to do well this year is Alfred Morris.
Ooh, you feel like he's going to get back into the groove.
He hasn't been out of the groove. He's just on a terrible team.
Well, that's true. Plus, the read option wasn't a thing last year because RG3 was... I love the little NFL noise that keeps happening, to be honest with you. All right, with my pick, I'm going to pick up a good receiver. Jace had him last year, and I remember getting beat by him quite brutally. But I'm going to grab up Kelvin Benjamin. He's going to become a big part of that team. I got my 4 receivers. They're all fucking fantastic.
All right. With my next pick, I'm going to pick a guy. Can't use him for the first.
You're going to go.
Is it 1 or 2 weeks on LeGarrette Blount?
1 week. All right. He grabbed Adam Vinatieri, always a reliable kicker.
Can't go wrong
You know
with
who else is a
Vinatieri.
reliable kicker?
And Jeremy Hill.
Kind of surprised he didn't go sooner.
True that.
I'm going to actually pick up with my next pick. Going to get my 4th running back / flex player, Denard Robinson from Jacksonville.
Are you just like, do you have full on like waterhead syndrome now?
Yeah, he's going to be a 3rd round back at best.
He's also their returner.
Yeah.
He's also their returner, and he was starting at running back in this game, so suck my
Yeah,
nuts.
but they also fucking drafted Yelton,
Yeah.
who will easily be starting there.
Except
my
for the part where
quarterback-
Denard Robinson was running for like 16-yard gains against the Steelers defense in the first series.
Well, that's the Steelers defense. That's a problem.
My quarterback pick is somewhat of a surprise, but he's got one of the best receivers in the league, and I'm picking Tony Romo as my backup quarterback.
That's an excellent draft pick as your backup, I would say.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's either between him and Breeze is going to be slowly moving into a run-based offense a little more to help him out with the age.
Another one of my sort of under-the-radar picks is going to be my backup tight end, Jordan Cameron. Lamar Miller, the Jarvis Landry. No, Devontae Parker. Okay.
Yes. All right. Jason's second pick here. Round 23 right now out of 30. Longest draft ever.
Who put this on 9,000 tickets?
And then for a backup linebacker, Justin Houston.
I was going to try to see how long he would last. I was going to get my backup offense before I tried to grab him.
Which the
Very
only
good
issue with
pick.
his is as long as he puts up the numbers he did last year, he will be fine. But, 0.5 sacks away from breaking. Yeah, that was a dumb pick by me. Don't draft Justin Houston. He had 103 points, and he was 1.5 sacks away from breaking the all-time record. That was stupid.
That was so dumb of you. Oh man. All right, so with my pick, I'm going to pick up my 4th running back and my final running back. I had him last year. He was a free agent pickup, and he became my starter for the year out. It's going to be Justin Forsett. Surprisingly great in that system. Yeah, they don't have Gary Kubiak anymore, but I still think that he's going to perform high and above what he did last year.
My next pick is going to be a man they call Legatron.
Everson Griffin at defensive end.
Just a backup.
Just a backup. Calm down, guys. Don't make fun of me.
Yeah, man. I'm a punter. Johnny.
Nice
Heckler.
pick. Not the heckler, Hecker. There's 2 Ks, no L.
I like to call him Heckler. You know
Who does
what
Hecker pay
I
for?
wish.
we should have got Lanning. I don't know if getting kicked in the face gets you points, but
What having a Mortal Kombat finish
Who
performed
does
on you
Johnny
by a
Hecker
kick returner?
play for?
St. Louis.
Yeah.
St. Louis.
All right, Kevin with his 24th round pick.
My pick is going to be probably for quite a few years the best punter in the league, who's now in Cleveland and will be punting a lot and that's Andy Lee.
I'm kind of going to go with a sleeper here. I don't want to say a sleeper, but a guy that most teams probably wouldn't draft to be my replacement linebacker, and that is Ryan Shazier. I liked how he was. If he can stay healthy, I think that he's going to be fantastic.
Somewhere, Cameron Shields is clapping furiously.
Yes, he is.
Backup safety, Morgan Burnett. And I'm going to channel my inner Homer here because he's my backup, and I think he's good.
So my backup DN is going to be Calais Campbell, just because I like Calais Campbell. He's a huge dude. He did score a good amount of points for them last year. He's basically a wall.
No, he's a human being.
My pick is going to be somebody who I can't believe is still here at what pick is this? My 25th pick. Tom Brady.
You have 3 quarterbacks now.
So,
All right.
I can have 4.
All right.
How in the fuck? Can I just point out that they've got Marcus Mariota ranked above Derek Carr
He plays for a better
and
team.
Teddy Bridgewater? Fucking whoa!
Hey, Homer, do you want to go over your last 2 picks?
I think that Jarrell Casey is the fucking Tennessee. He's their defense.
Yeah, he is.
And I think that Clive Walford is just going to be a very underrated tight end for this year.
I think he will do well. Good young quarterback in Derek Carr. Always needs a good tight end.
Rivera showed promise, but not
people are
quite.
sleeping on that. People are sleeping on that offense right now.
Did you hear me just say a good young quarterback when talking?
Well, no,
about
I'm saying the
Derek
offense
Carr?
in general. Yeah, I heard
just
that.
gave
All
you
right,
credit.
Kevin's pick is up.
Jesse Shirley to edit that out because this isn't you.
Yeah. I'm going to go. I needed a backup linebacker. I'm going to pick up Alec Ogletree because he's Alec Ogletree, and he's a boss and a stud young guy.
Yeah, he's pretty much their mainstay at linebacker.
Not James Laurinaitis is, but he's younger.
But he's James Laurinaitis, and he'll break something. I'm going to go with a guy that I'm kind of surprised is still here as my backup corner with Darrelle Revis. And I know he doesn't get thrown to a lot, but when he does, he makes you pay for it. All right, that is Jace on the clock.
Okay, my backup quarterback, call me biased, whatever, but I am going to draft Derek Carr. Because again, as I've said, even though I am an Oakland Raiders fan and I do follow them closely, I think that's a very underrated offense. I think he's going to put up bigger numbers in the red zone this year we are going to be in more games, so he's not going to have to do it just in garbage time in the fourth quarter when we're getting our asses beat. But
I don't think he's going to do as well in the beginning of the year. I think it'll be more Latavius Murray until they get Wayford a little bit more oriented into the offense.
Well, I've got them both, so it works out. And you guys are dumber than dumb can be. I am taking the Texans defense.
That was my next pick.
I'm really good at that, I've noticed.
I already have the Jets.
Nailed me a bunch of times on there.
I already have the Jets. I don't need the Texans.
Well, I'm going to do a similar. Go with the best one of the top scoring defenses last year in the Philadelphia Eagles.
So, as my name states, I am the prior Raider failures. This guy wasn't really a failure for the Raiders, but I'm picking up Tyvon Branch.
No, he was just his body failed him because he was constantly hurt.
Yeah. And now back to Homer.
Who's bound to draft somebody because he likes them.
I got 2 more picks.
Or they're a good player.
My backups. Cam Chancellor holding out, but he's still taking him. Not a bad pick, though.
I think the whole holding out thing is going to steer people away from him, but I still think that's a top 5 safety as far as fantasy goes right there.
Yeah.
If we gave
just
away
for the
points,
sheer fact that he does we get points per tackle, and that man does more.
Well, if we did a score just based on like the Madden hit stick rating, he'd score like 500 points a game.
All right, Homer's second pick here. In round 28, we have 2 more rounds.
I'm ready to die.
Yep.
Almost done. Ezekiel Ansah.
Yeah.
Good solid pick.
Very good. I'm going to go. Oh, it's Kevin's turn.
You're going to wait until I make my pick, then you can pick yours. And also, because my name is Prior Raider Failures, I'm going to go ahead and make the selection of who I think is going to be the breakout wide receiver this season.
Oh, fuck. Here we go.
Terrell Pryor.
Jesus Christ.
And Tim Tebow will be his last pick. I'm going to pick my backup kicker as the newly signed Garrett Hartley.
I am going to pick, as I'm already stacked at wide receiver, I may as well do it some more, Brandon Cooks. I am at a little bit of a crossroads here. I will open this up to you guys. I'm going to take one of these two guys. Don't be biased. I'm thinking either Sean Lee or Kiko Alonso.
That I would go Alonso just for the fact that Sean Lee gets injured. Sean Lee is a fantastic pick, but there's a good chance he'll be broken by the start of the season. All right, I'm going to go with my backup punter, who's also one of the funniest persons in the NFL, in Pat McAfee.
You picked a backup punter?
Yeah, I always pick up a backup kicker and a punter.
You picked a backup punter?
Yeah.
All right, Jesse automatically loses this fucking fantasy.
I don't have to pick up people in free agency every week. I have my team perfectly set, so bye weeks don't interfere with one another. And I have backups for every position, so I can just rotate my team through.
All right, well, I'm going to pick up another tight end because I just noticed that.
Sorry.
I'm going to have. There are three guys I was looking at tight end. All three of them have a bye week 6, so I'm going to pick the one of the other guys I wanted to get. I want Austin Seferian-Jenkins because he has a rookie quarterback, and they always tend to favor their fucking tight ends.
Touche.
I really don't need anybody, but there's so many guys that I want to pick.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of free agent pickups throughout this season. You can easily tell. Somebody gets hurt, somebody doesn't start, blah, blah, blah. It's going to happen.
Look at this right here. Drew Brees, Cam Newton, Phillip Rivers, Matthew Stafford, Colin Kaepernick. That's just the quarterback listings.
Yeah. Yeah, the issue with this little amount of teams is you got to pick a top 10 player in every position.
This one's not going to give... I don't care about...
Oh, I just saw his last pick, and I completely forgot about him.
Yep. I did too.
Son of a bitch.
Artavius Bryant. I feel is going to have double-digit touchdowns over close to 1,000 yards, if not over.
Yeah, I think Brown's numbers are actually going to come down a little bit, unfortunately.
Well, I'm okay with that as long as our offense...
Well, actually, the only reason you think that is because you don't have him on your team.
He's going to trade.
No, I'll have him on my team. Just not this team.
Yeah, he's the keeper.
Homer, you got 5 seconds.
I don't give a shit. Here, I'll pick him. Oh, fuck.
Brian Dawkins? Wait, what? Isn't he an analyst now?
You get points for analytics.
Every time he makes a good point on ESPN, you get a point.
Well, Homer's going to be the first.
You'll have 2 points by the end of the season.
All right, I'm going to pick another wide receiver because at this point, why the fuck not? I'm picking up Chris Matthews from Seattle because I'm pretty sure he's going to be starting and he's going to be a boss.
Yeah. Curse will be in the slot. All right, I have to pick a safety here because I realize that both Earl Thomas and Eric Berry have the same bye week, so I'm going to go with probably the top safety out there right now, and Eric Weddle.
I am going to pick...
And with Mr. Irrelevant...
I am already stacked at wide receiver, but I am going to pick who I feel can be the top scoring wide receiver of 2015, Terrell Owens.
Wait, what? What? How is he in here?
It was down to Terrell Owens or Jason Hansen or Mark Brunell, Willie McGinnis, or Simeon Rice. I had to take a pick here.
Yeah,
Simeon Rice was a really good pickup. So I'm going to run down my team now, just to let everybody know. My starting lineup is Russell Wilson, Le'Veon Bell, Adrian Peterson, Calvin Johnson, Odell Beckham Jr., Greg Olsen, Demaryius Thomas in my flex position. My defense is Luke Kuechly and C.J. Mosley. Then Mario Williams and Aaron Donald. Cornerbacks are Patrick Peterson and Jason McCourty. Safety is Earl Thomas with Eric Berry as my defensive player. Flex, my defense is the Bills defense, then Steven Gostkowski. Marquette King is my punter.
Bitch.
On my bench, we have Forte, Kelsey, Calvin Benjamin, Tony Romo, Justin Forsett, Ryan Shazier, Calais Campbell, Darrell Revis, Eagles D, Garrett Hartley, Pat McAfee, and Eric Weddle. So that is my team.
And with your 2015 All the Rage Fantasy Football Championship team, I'm going to call it right now because there's no way I'm going to lose. You heard it. I just reported it. With my quarterback, Andrew Luck, running backs are Marshawn Lynch and Eddie Lacy. Starting wide receivers are Antonio Brown and Des Bryant. Tight end will be Rob Gronkowski. My flex player is Randall Cobb. My 2 starting linebackers are Bobby Wagner and Paul Warlow. My defensive linemen are J.J. Watt and Muhammad Wilkerson. My cornerbacks are Richard Sherman and Kyle Fuller. My starting safety is Charles Woodson. My flex player on defense is Jamie Collins. The Lions defense, Sebastian Janikowski is my kicker, Steve Weatherford is my punter, and my bench goes as follows. A.J. Green at wide receiver, Jordy Nelson at wide receiver, Latavius Murray at running back, Alfred Morris at running back, Jordan Cameron at tight end, Justin Houston at linebacker, Morgan Burnett at safety, Derek Carr at quarterback, Texans defense, Brandon Cooks at wide receiver, Kiko Alonso at linebacker, and the best pickup of the year, Terrell Owens at his couch.
On Madden.
That's my quarterback, man.
Starting at quarterback, I will have Ben Roethlisberger. Starting running backs, Jamal Charles and LaShawn McCoy. Starting at wide receiver, I'll have Alshon Jeffrey and Emmanuel Sanders. Jason Witten will be my starting tight end. Denard Robinson, my flex player. I'm going to go with Navarro Bowman and Lawrence Timmons at linebacker. Chandler Jones and Danny Shelton on my D-line. Cornerbacks of Prince Amukamara and Joe Hayden. Clinton Dix at safety. My flex defensive player will be Alec Ogletree. Starting the Jets defense, and I have Legatron and Andy Lee in my kicking. As far as my bench goes, I have Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. At quarterback, and at running back, I have LeGarrette Blount. I have Amari Cooper, Andre Johnson, Terrell Pryor, and Chris Matthews at wide receiver. Austin Safarian Jenkins and Jaron Cook at tight end. Jason Pierre-Paul at defensive end. Tyrann Mathieu at cornerback. Safety Tyvon Branch.
All right, and Homer, the final team.
At my starting quarterback, I have Aaron Rodgers. Running backs, DeMarco Murray and C.J. Anderson. Wide receivers, Mike Evans and T.Y. Hilton. Starting tight end is Jimmy Graham. My flex player is DeAndre Hopkins. My 2 linebackers are Khalil Mack and Levante David. My 2 defensive linemen are Robert Quinn and Ndamukong Suh. He's not a fucking cornerback.
I know. There's a few cornerbacks that are safeties, I notice.
Senny's a cornerback. Sean Gibson. My other one is Marcus Peters. Safety, Harrison.
You said Peters.
My defensive flex player is DeAndre Levy. My defense is Seahawks. My kicker is Adam Vinatieri. Punter, Johnny Hecker. And my bench is Broncos defense. Julio Jones, Matt Ryan, Frank Gore, Jeremy Hill, Everson Griffin, Jarrell Casey, Clive Walford, Cam Chancellor, Ezekiel Anza, Martavius Bryant, and Brian Dawkins.
All right, so those are your teams. Please go to our webpage, comment, leave us a little email, whatever you want to do. Let us know how we did, if we drafted a good team for this league, if you liked our picks, if you disliked our picks. Obviously, everybody's going to come on and say how great T.O. was as a pick. They're also going to comment on the fact that I picked up a backup punter, so obviously. So please go to All the Rage Sports at webley.com and give us a comment. Follow us on Twitter, All the Rage Sports, and hopefully we'll fill you in week by week, let you know how this league is doing. Probably give you an update on all the other football pools or football fantasy leagues we're in as well. as well as talking about, the most current news in football and who we're going to think is going to win that week, so on and so forth.
Yeah, sports, since this is a
sports and
podcast.
things. So we'll definitely touch base with the fantasy, but we will definitely be talking more about the sports with football season starting, hockey season starting in late September. It's going to be a fantastic year for All the Rage Sports Podcast. All right, so everybody, thank you for joining us for our fantasy draft and our shenanigans. I just want to say good night to everybody. Everybody say your byes.
Goodbye.
All right, so thank you everyone for joining us. This is All the Rage Sports Talk. Tune in next week when we start doing our regular season preview. Goodbye and good night.